Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, I want to talk about my perceptions of single family rental real estate and cash flow before I took classes and learned from instructors who had a lot more experience than I do, and after, especially when I purchased my first rental property. So before I took classes, one of my perceptions that I had about real estate in general, and I think this is mainly because of Robert Kiyosaki and Rich Dad Poor Dad, is that you can borrow an unlimited amount of money and you'll be able to find like rental cash flowing properties. And I just thought that was possible. And I don't know, about you, but just doing the math on many single family homes and the amount that you get rental with taxes, insurance, and all that. If you borrow money, and especially these days, buy a property at market value and try to rent it and borrow the entire thing, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to cash flow, right? Like, probably even like 10 times out of 10, right? In fact, one of the things that really made me angry when I first took classes was hearing how the instructor, who's actually was a former public school teacher and has like a controlling interest over 300 properties, like a public school teacher in the Midwest. So he said something that was like very contradictory to my mind because, again, I came from a perspective, and this is probably because of Rich Dad Poor Dad, about how you could just borrow an unlimited amount of money, buy houses, and you'll cash flow, right? But the thing that really struck out to me and almost made me a little bit angry, because again, when you hear things that are different from your perspective, right? Um, that are from your biases that you want to be true, that you can borrow a limited amount of money and get cash flow. He actually said cash flow is quite rare, right? And so if you borrow money, basically it just kills your cash flow. And nowadays, if you buy a property at market value, again, like a house that was originally like $200,000 and now it's like $400,000, and you try to rent it out, and the max rent you get is about like 2,000 or a little bit over 2,000, you're going to lose money, right? So cash flow is not the only benefit of rental real estate. And in fact, like cash flow is like the inverse of like how much debt that you borrow, right? So if you borrow a lot of money, you're gonna have no cash flow, and like kind of like the game plan is that hopefully you're able to cover all your costs. So zero cash flow might be ideal in certain situations, but after a certain amount, you'll get the appreciation, right? And so one of the things that I learned is that you don't buy a rental property only for the cash flow, right? If you get cash flow, that's fantastic, but there's three other benefits of having that rental property. Number one being the appreciation. Now, this also depends on what market you're in. So I remember listening to a call on the Dave Ramsey show where a lady said she had like four rental properties in Los Angeles and had zero cash flow, but they were all like $1 million properties, right? With almost no debt. And so her property, she bought them probably at the right time, no cash flow, and they'd appreciated so much that all she has to do is sell one of them and she'll be okay. Depreciation, talk to your accountant about this, but one of the reasons why people buy real estate is for the tax benefits, right? And the fact that your house is crumbling to dust is essentially a tax benefit. Again, I'm not an accountant, so talk to your accountant about this. But this is huge if you want to offset your taxes, or I don't know if that's the right word, but pay less in taxes. Again, this is going to depend on your financial situation, but this is one of the reasons why people buy rental real estate, right? Another one is that your tenant is making the mortgage payment for you. So if you're if you combine your income and the tenant's income, even if you have no cash flow, what if you had a rental property free and clear in 2 to 3 years, right? So that's another benefit. And then once that mortgage is completely paid off, or if you're able to still cash flow with $100, $200, and here's the thing: if you have debt, and most of it is debt on your rental property, and you're unlikely to have cash flow. But if you have cash flow and you, let's say, 100% finance the property, that would be an insane deal. And Wall Street, the instructor that I talked about would say Wall Street would probably pay for that deal, which is why you're probably not going to get a cash flowing property or with insane cash flow if you finance 100%. Okay, So here's another thing too. I actually talked to, and I'm gonna start to mention this guy, a guy named Steven Nomura. So let me actually put his name on YouTube. Steve Nomura. Okay. So Steve Nomura. And I know him from just the real estate investing group education that I talked to you guys about, Renatus. And so he leads a group, I think, in Illinois. He's in Midwest, and he's a Japanese immigrant. Came to the United States in the early 2000s with his four children, and he, if you watch his YouTube channel, it's an amazing story, right? Let's right here is his YouTube channel, Steve Nomura Real Estate Investing, and I was able to talk to Steve, um, just a one-on-one. I introduced myself to him because I loved his story, right? And as you can see here, here's all the projects he's doing. He has done over 222nd, I think 222. Like he's done over 200 deals, right? And he has about 50 rental properties. And one of the things that he told me was that when he had his like 10th rental again, 10 rental properties, he told me that I think he wasn't cash flowing that much, right? Which is why he went up to 50. I think that's what he said, if I remember. But again, like to talk to a lot of people. So if he's telling me that 10 rental properties, he has 10 rental properties, he's doing really good deals. Because his last deal that he showed was like a short sale or for where he got like a property for $80,000 and the market value is like 300 after 300 something after repairs. But, you know, again, I like to talk to many people, figure out their experiences, but what I'm saying is that he is an example of someone doing really good deals, and even though he had 10 rental properties, he was not able to cash flow that well, which is why he went up to 50. But again, with rental real estate, the cash flow is not the only benefit of the rental real estate. You could have zero cash flow, right? I probably would not want to suffer negative cash flow unless I knew I was going to get rid of the property really soon and get like a big payout. Again, that's just me. But you could even have zero cash flow and still tremendously benefit because of these three things. Like you got, if you live in Los Angeles, you get appreciation out of the wazoo if you bought it like 15 years ago. Depreciation, you get those tax benefits, talk to your accountant. And then again, if you're able to rent it out and still have zero cash flow, your tenant is paying the mortgage. So it's like they're paying for the retirement fund, right? Again, not a lot of rental properties will easily cash flow, especially if you have debt, right? But if you don't have debt and you buy a rental property in cash, the thing that you have to compare it to, right? Now, not a lot of people think about this. Is it better for me to put my money in safe like paper assets where I can do absolutely no work, right? Like I don't know, government bonds or treasuries or whatever, or should I put it in real estate? Right? That's like the next question if you're going to pay in cash. But yeah, so this is pretty much um what I think about rental real estate now. I actually don't care about the cash flow. I mean, if it gives me cash flow, that's great. But the other three benefits are a big win. And so once I've paid off this mortgage payment with Velocity Banking and Tense Income, and let's say I'm able to get a free and clear property in about 3 years, then I get to experience that cash flow, right? But before then, your cash flow, and again, this is going to be dependent on your situation, maybe only like, I don't know, 100, 200, or $300 a month on a very good day, right? All right. Well, this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group and learning about real estate investing and all the stuff that I talked to you about, and taking classes and making sure, again, I don't guarantee anything, but almost learning all the things that you would need to know in order to do good deals. Again, I don't guarantee anything. I'm going to say that again. Go ahead and click the Google form link below. Other than that, have a great day and we'll speak next time.